Of mine, he's a PlayStation fanboy, and he's always got these one-liners. You think they're zingers, but the beauty about this whole thing is, I think you PlayStation fans are now aware of the fact that Xbox did not go to sleep this generation. Not only did they not go to sleep, they walked into where I think is their dominant position by woe is me. Oh, we don't have any games. Oh, we're third place. And you PlayStation fans, after all of your press and your nonsense and your gaslighting, you gave them the farm. And so I'm talking about the fact that they have a game coming to their service that is also from China, Wu Chang, and you say you are desperately trying to hype this game up. Why would I want to hype the game up? People can play the game for a small subscription fee. There's no need for that. Gone are the days when content creators will have you have FOMO because games are everywhere. And what's actually on my radar is not even Wu Chang per se. What's come on my radar, Taco, since you're a PlayStation fanboy, is the PlayStation fanboys that are actually having a bitter taste in their mouth, having subscribed to PlayStation Plus and not getting anything as close as Game Pass. In fact, I've made a video or two, but once I saw your comment, I thought, why not inform Taco what's going on in the PlayStation camp? Apparently, this poster said anyone else extremely jealous between the difference in quality between Game Pass and PlayStation Plus recently? Now, Taco, I'm not saying that you're jealous, but why would I be trying to hype a game that's on Game Pass? It's kind of like unbecoming of that game if you guys actually think about it. Like, it's coming to Game Pass. We all know. So what do? We just wait, we get in there, and we subscribe and we play. Back in the day, you were opening your little savings jar or your swear jar where you put a little bit of coins back to figure out if you wanted to go ahead and play this game. You were waiting and subscribed to your favorite reviewers, waiting to see what they were going to say about the game. Now, you go in there, you hit the download button, and you play the game for your freaking self. In fact, the Oblivion remaster, I think the shadow drop was excellent by Xbox. They went ahead and dropped this freaking game before the reviewers could get around it. Everybody's nostalgia kicked in and the freaking game became successful. Sorry, the freaking remaster of the game became successful. And so this is exactly what's going on right now. Y'all are over here trying to find ways to deflect, whereas within the PlayStation camp, you guys haven't looked inside. Thankfully, it's those of you in the comment section. Taco, jump in this subreddit. You're a PlayStation guy. See what these folks are saying. Maybe you might be able to talk some of them down from abandoning PlayStation, because from what we've seen, some of these folk want to go ahead and, according to this guy, considering selling his Series S and buying a Series X. I'd say you should buy a PC because you know where I stand on this matter. But hey, like I said, you might want to get in here, log in, get yourself an account if you don't have an account on Reddit, and try to talk these people down from leaving the PlayStation ecosystem. I stopped short of this particular, conversation, but I thought, man, there's so much gold here. And before anybody deletes this thread, because I think this thread might get deleted once those videos start posting, I might as well get in and farm as much receipts as I possibly can. Because think about it. It's actually interesting at the end of the day, because even when some PlayStation fans actually reject that premise that the original poster put up here, they still cannot help but mention the things that I'm mentioning. They almost all sound like VG. It's weird. It's like VG in these PlayStation bodies. Weird. So the second part they said Game Pass, just this past week, got Expedition 33 Oblivion Remaster as day one releases. Taco, wait till Wu Chang shows up and adds on top of this. They're already talking about extremely jealous. When somebody is not just jealous, but has entered a new realm, I think their wallet is starting to go, man, I may have to match this by myself and jump in and see what's going on. You said, I believe they're getting the new Doom game on release as well. Guys, see, Taco, most gamers don't buy games. This is a statistical fact that Mass Piscatella put out here. You know that, right? If you take a look at it, what we mostly buy are old games. So Xbox looking and saying, man, if nobody buys these new games, we're dead in the water. We got to find a way to pay for them. So as many people may be thinking that Xbox is running their game division at a loss, you're fooled, because you didn't realize that Xbox is tracking towards getting $5.8 billion on Game Pass subscription this year. Think about it. What is PlayStation doing in their own subscription side? And when you look at it, their own fans and their own audiences are not happy with it. This is the PlayStation Plus subreddit. That's crazy. And they said, I believe they're getting the new Doom game as well. Am I hyping it up? It's y'all that are hyping it up on PlayStation. Feels like us PlayStation Plus users are getting effed over with what we're receiving in return for subscription. Recently, we got blueprints, which is great, but you know who else got blueprints? Game Pass. He says it there in his missive. I was like, I haven't even played Blueprint. I haven't even installed it. There's just no time. The games are flowing. Oh my goodness. When am I going to get time to play these titles, Taco? Sorry for the rant. Just frustrated with PlayStation Plus recently. Cheerio. I scroll down and I meet this person. This is after I've read almost all those in other videos, but I was like, man, guys, we got to go. Nope. First of all, shout out to OP who actually put this thing in front of me. Goodness, I almost forgot, bro. Thank you so much I thought this was gold. I didn't know that this was an entire vault. Nope. I'm pretty happy with Plus. God of War Ragnarok, Neo, Fallen Order, and Hogwarts Legacy all back to back. Bro, Fallen Order was on Game Pass a minute ago. Let me see. Let's go ahead and check it out. Let me make sure I'm saying the right. Yeah, I beat it on Game Pass actually because my PC version sucked. I was so mad at did it say Fallen Order? Oh, it's on Game Pass via EA Plus. Survivor is on Game Pass as well via EA Plus. Jedi Survivor is also on Game Pass Ultimate via EA Plus. A lot of people that are saying that they don't see any reason or they're happy with it are missing the argument that OP made. OP is saying the difference based on, and he mentions brand new day one releases. That is the ideal Xbox exclusive. It's the thing that PlayStation doesn't have. I told you all that the exclusive was Game Pass. I told you guys this a while ago. Taco, I hope you're watching and listening too. You need to get in this subreddit, man. These particular comments you're making, you're wasting your time. I farm it for content. This is where you need to be. You need to be playing shrink for a lot of these guys that are already feeling the weight of PlayStation Plus not giving them value. You said in Hogwarts Legacy all back to back. You guys are just ungrateful and have the grass is greener mentality. Intelligent Pen 5774. This is not a grass is greener mentality. This is actually the fact that gamers on PlayStation are getting games with only one way to play them, which is to buy them. Whereas on Xbox, where they subscribe, like you subscribe, you don't have access to those games. It's not a grass is greener mentality. It's something where you can actually add on to your gaming, like somebody else had done in the comment section where they said that you don't need an Xbox. Like this person said, I use cloud gaming in my Chrome browser. Now, as a matter of value, PlayStation Plus sucks. That being said, if you're unhappy with PlayStation Plus Extra, then change the Game Pass and see if the grass is in fact greener. I used to have both, but dropped Game Pass after what Xbox did to Tango. Hi-Fi Rush was the game that made me activate my pass. This is nonsense. If you didn't drop Plus for what they did to Deviation Games and what they did to Firewalk and Neon Koi and all these other studios, then you're basically pretty much preaching something that you're not practicing. Because we know the studio at Hi-Fi Rush, that studio, the leader left, and that studio had not brought in money for Bethesda, from my understanding, for a minute. What games did they make? The Evil Within, Ghostwire Tokyo, which was locked as a timed exclusive on PlayStation, by the way. Yeah, Intelligent, Pen 5774. I don't think you're making a fair assessment. You said, I like the day one thing, and it carries a lot of value. But only if you've caught up with the catalog, not interested in all other games, you're keen on playing day one. Obviously, that is what they're saying. Intelligent Pen. They're talking about game one. Game Pass looks more valuable due to the day one titles. However, beyond that, PlayStation Plus Extra overall holds more value for me, as I wasn't playing anything else on Game Pass except day one big games, which is what this dude is talking about. So, at the end of the day, they're looking at the fact that the Game Pass service has more value because of the day one games. And you just said you're not interested in a lot of the catalog. I'm sure you're also not interested in a lot of the catalog on PlayStation Plus, but that's not what OP is arguing about. This person said they did give us a lot of good games lately, but let's be honest, those games are games that most people who wanted them already bought them a long time ago. That's honestly my only gripe with PS Plus. Taco, are you listening? Are you listening? Taco3385. See what they're saying. Get in here, bro. I need to see you talking to these guys. I don't mind not getting day ones, but if you only get 8 AAA games after they've been on sale, most people actually wanted to play them, had already bought it. I wish, according to this person, Sony would start adding their own first-party games to PlayStation Plus day one, like Xbox does with Game Pass. Man, Taco, get in here. These guys are going to leave. You need to stop them, man. For the price they're currently asking and increasing it, adding their exclusives day one is the bare minimum. See, Xbox has created a taste in the market that no one can easily wash out of their mouth because it's valuable. Gamers like value. Twitter has been talking trash about value. They won't stop. All of them. But the PlayStation gamers who are not sitting on a live stream and raising sub goals are feeling the weight of what's going on their platform. And this person said, look at this. Honestly, these folks are subscribing to Game Pass. I've got both services and I've used Game Pass more than PS Plus last year. And apparently this year will be the same. Xbox is poaching y'all's players. Xbox is poaching y'all's gamers. So all this while that Xbox is saying, oh, we have more Xbox players, some of it consists of not only Game Pass PC, but also Game Pass PlayStation players. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. It's almost like Microsoft spent billions of dollars buying up all the studios. I didn't buy all of them. They left some for you guys at PlayStation so that they could corner the market and cause this exact outcome. We've been telling y'all. This person said, not really. I have both systems, but sometimes buy games that are on Game Pass on my PS5 Pro just because I prefer the controller and overall UX so much more. I often let my Game Pass sub lapse. This person said, pretty stupid way of coping. I'm sorry, but no, Bill. Don't say that to somebody, man. That's their preference, okay? That's their preference. Don't make fun of people. If he likes a controller, I can't blame him. As somebody who is controller, snobbish in some cases, yeah, I can find myself in that situation as well. Right? This person says, I don't know. Sure, they get cool titles, but isn't Game Pass somewhat responsible for the decline in Xbox game sales? No, that will be the live service games. It's responsible for also the game sales on your platform. Taco, come on now. Give these guys some data, man. Due to simply just giving away, in quote, top titles for a fraction. No, they're subsidizing it and they're making money because more people now come in, like your fellow PlayStation fans who are now putting money into Game Pass as well. We're all a coalition and we're basically making the service viable. See, let me tell you what's going to happen. Taco. This video is about you and your comment where you said I'm trying to hype up a game that I'm not trying to hype. I think you may have mischaracterized my enthusiasm for Wu Chang. And so I thought maybe I'd dedicate this video to you because I think it's very pertinent. What's going to happen is these deals are going to continue to happen. And more people, even from the PlayStation side, are going to continue to look across the room. That's exactly what it is. Because when they look across the room, and let's get a little chart out here. How many minutes in the video are we? 13 minutes. Not a biggie. This video is actually fun to make. Reading these comments on PlayStation Plus is a blessing. I mean, all my work since 2020, actually, I've been talking about Game Pass since like 2021. Here's what's going to happen, right? If somebody has, and I don't know how I should do this. I want to not bring those Xbox gamers that kind of doubted my content and were calling me names and were bothering me into this conversation. Don't worry, I'll make a dedicated video to you guys, God willing. So say the PlayStation player is saying Game Pass is better, and they're saying, look over there. And then they're like, Game Pass is better. GP butter, right? They say GP butter, exclamation mark. And they're like, this is the road to Game Pass, right? This is the road to Game Pass, And Game Pass is over here going, hey, come on over with wide open arms. and say, come play these games. Huh? And they look and say, well, let's make our way to Game Pass. The barrier to entry is actually very minimal. Unlike, say, if an Xbox fan who was on this side, who was saying, but we're not getting PlayStation games. Well, I brought you into it anyways. And they say, oh, well, no PlayStation exclusive. No PS exclusive. No PS exclusive. I've seen those comments. Well, we're not getting PS exclusives. And I said, leave this thing alone. You're not going to remember them. The barrier to go in means they have to go ahead and jump over this box of $3.99 before they go to the PlayStation side. Right? PlayStation is not opening its arms wide. It has a knife in its hand ready to stab them. Okay. All right, okay. I was trolling there. Guys, relax. Calm down. I was just playing. Breathe. Let's all calm down here. Don't jump in the comment section. I was just playing. Okay? Relax. What I'm trying to depict here is the barrier to entry PlayStation understands, right, is one that a player must go over. And because of how much Game Pass is a better value proposition, I think Xbox has locked its people in its ecosystem so that they can enjoy what it is that they want. In fact, some of us PC gamers are looking and saying, the heck is this? I can't believe we're enjoying an Xbox product. Now, should the time come that it becomes nonsense, we're out. But Game Pass, I think, can get a value that is so interesting with all these games that it's going to be, in a sense, I don't know, weird. So here's what's going to happen. PlayStation fanboys, if you're somebody who likes economics, you have to understand that the time is now. Because Microsoft wants to hit that 100 million subscriber goal, right? And if it doesn't hit the subscriber goal, there are possibilities that there might be price increases. We'll see. You never know. There's also the possibility that if subscriber goals go up, then the price will stay at market rate for a long time. You want to make sure that PlayStation is competitive enough so that PlayStation can actually deliver something to the market. PlayStation does not deliver something to the market. They give Xbox the dominance in this area. Low barrier to entry, better value. I don't think PlayStation can beat that. Even they know that they can't beat that. Comment section. Thanks for watching. Peace out.